Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, August 18th, 2027. We're not going to have a long show today. MLB, WNBA, soccer, to return to the portfolio on this day, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's games. Doubleheader game 1, Cardinals over the Reds 2-1, Rays over the O's 7-6, Phils over the Marlins 6-5, Reds over the Cards 6-5 and 10. On a walk-off double by Ellie De La Cruz. So they split the doubleheader. Tigers over the Pirates 8-5, Red Sox over the D-backs 11-1, Mets over the Padres 2-1, Royals over the A's 9-5, Twins over the Braves 4-2. Cubs over the White Sox 7-5 and 10 on a walk-off home run by Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete Crow Armstrong's having a magical year. He might win NL MVP over Ohtani. Dodgers over the Rockies 11-5. And Best Bet lost again, so Best Bet's not in a good place right now. Alright, 6:30 is Yanks O's. Carlos Rodon back against Shane Baz. So Rodon and Fried pretty much switched. Fried's on the IL, which is a big loss for the Yankees, but Rodon's back. But that, let's face it, that's a drop off. Yanks -108, O's even money over under 8.5, overs -118, others -104. Yanks -1.5 plus 140, O's plus 1.5 -170. I'm taking the O's at even money only because I don't think Rodon is gonna be in form after coming off the IL, and plus Yankee offense garbage. Next up is Tigers Pirates. Tyler Montero and Braxton Ashcraft. Pirates -144, Tigers plus 134 over under 8 -110 each way. Tigers plus 1.5 -176, Pirates -1.5 plus 146. I'm taking the Tigers plus 134, so another underdog. Marlins Phils. Cade Gibson and Zach Wheeler. Phils -10, Marlins plus 194 over under 8.5, overs even money, others -122. Marlins plus 1.5 -120, Phils -1.5 even money. I'm laying the run line with the Phils at home. Guardians hosting the Giants. Carson Wisenhunt and Foster Griffin. Guardians -184, Giants plus 170 over under 8, overs -115, unders -105. Giants plus 1.5 -134, Guardians -1.5 plus 112. I'm like under 8 -105. Cards Reds. Kyle Leahy and Andrew Abbott. Cards -112, Reds plus 104 over under 9, overs -106, unders -114. Cards -1.5 plus 134, Reds plus 1.5 -162. I'm gonna go with the under. I think that's a high total. Blue Jays Rays, big series for Toronto. Jose Soriano and Nick Martinez. Rays -126, Jays plus 118 over under 7.5 -110 each way. Jays plus 1.5 -92, Rays -1.5 plus 58. I like the over. This is the bet on the regression from Soriano. 7 o'clock, D-backs Red Sox. Merrill Kelly, Rangers Suarez. Red Sox -164, D-backs plus 150 over under 8, overs -105, unders -115. D-backs plus 1.5 -152, Red Sox -1.5 plus 126 over. Padres Mets. Robbie Ray, Zach Thornton. Padres -110, Mets even money over under 8.5 -110 each way. Padres -1.5 plus 146, Mets plus 1.5 -176. I like how Zach Thornton's pitching. The Mets have been playing better. I like them on the money line. That'd be 5 in a row for the Mets if they were to win this game. A's Royals at 7:30. Jack Perkins and Daniel Lynch. Royals -150, A's plus 140 over under 9, overs -120, others -102. A's plus 1.5 -162, Royals -1.5 plus 134. I like the over at -120. Jack Perkins has just been the worst pitcher in baseball of late. Mariners Brewers, good series. Bryce Miller, Kyle Harrison. Brewers -168, Mariners plus 156 over under 7.5, overs -115, unders -105. Mariners plus 1.5 -152, Brewers -1.5 plus 26. I like the under. Braves Twins. Tyler Mahle and Zebby Matthews. Braves minus 122, Twins plus 112, over under 8.5. Overs minus 124, under plus 102. Braves minus 1.5 plus 134, Twins plus 1.5 minus 162. I like alternate over 9.5 plus 124. 8 o'clock on TBS. White Sox Cubs, great game. Brian Hudson and Kevin Gossman. Cubs minus 168. White Sox plus 156, over under 9, over minus 132, under even money. White Sox plus 1.5 minus 140. Cubs minus 1.5 plus 160 or plus 116. I'm gonna go with the White Sox on the money line plus 156. I think they bounced back after a tough loss last night. Nats Rangers. Jackson Kent and Cal Quantrill. Rangers minus 146, Nats plus 136, over under 8, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Nats plus 1.5 minus 162, Rangers minus 1.5 plus 134. I like over 8 minus 105. Angels Astros. George Klassen and Christian Javier. Astros minus 156, Angels plus 144, over under 9, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Angels plus 1.5 minus 160, Astros minus 1.5 plus 132. I like the over at minus 118. And last but not least, 8:30 Dodgers at the Rockies. Eric Lauer and Ryan Feltner. Dodgers minus 184, Rockies plus 170, over under 11.5, overs minus 115, over minus 105. Dodgers minus 1.5 minus 126, Rocks plus 1.5 plus 1.5. I like the over at minus 115. So there you have it for baseball. Now move on to the WNBA. We had one game last night. We have a couple tonight. Valkyrie's over the Wings 78-70 as they have a playoff spot clinched. And then we have 4 games tonight, 7 o'clock. Sparks, Sun. The Sparks are giving 2.5 totals, 170.5, over. On ESPN, Fever, Tempo. The Fever are giving 10.5 totals, 190.5. Oh, I'm going to lay it with the Fever. With that group of girls. Caitlin and Sophie. And Kelsey Mitchell. And Aaliyah Boston. Great team. 9 o'clock. Liberty Sky. The Liberty are giving 4.5 totals, 180.5. I'm going to lay it with the Liberty. They need to start winning the games. And on ESPN, Dream Aces. The Aces are giving 3.5 totals, 177.5. Tough one. I like the over only because I think the point spread's right on, and I just think that's an over. So there you have it for the W. Now we'll move on to soccer. We'll go over notable results from yesterday, look ahead to today. All right, La Liga. LK Deportivo 1-1 draw. Liga MX. Leon over Necaxa 2-1. Puebla over Pachuca 3-2. Coppa Italia. Pisa Napoli 1-1 draw. Pisa wins 4-3 on penalties. Sassuolo over Cesena 3-0. Cremonese over Sampdoria 2-0. Palmero over Lecce 2-0. ELC Cardiff City Wrexham 1-1 draw. Kings Cup Al Ali over Al Anwar 2-1. El Kidiash over Altai 5-0. Al Raida over Al Zufi 2-0. Al Faya over Al Adala 2-0. And Al Halal over Al Raid 2-0. Alright, and then today, we have Kamala Libertadores Club Friendlies, UEFA qualifying at 3 o'clock. We have Danagar Zagreb and Viking FK. Fenerbahce and Lyon and Levski Sofia and AEK Athens. So, Dynamo minus 155, Viking plus 80, draw plus 290. Just filler time. I'm doing this. Under 2.5 plus 138. Fenerbahce minus 105, Lyon plus 260, draw plus 41. Fenerbahce minus 105, and AEK Athens plus 130. Levski Sofia plus 230, draw 2-1, and I'm going to go with Athens at plus 130. All right, Kings Cup going on right now. Al Jabian, Al Edifak, Al Najma, Al Idiad, Al Akdod, Al Khalij. 2 o'clock, Al Daira, Al Nasser. I'm going to go under 3.5 on that one. And then Al Fasili and Neom SC, but no line for that. But yeah, soccer's kind of dead. We have MLS tomorrow. We'll pick the La Liga game for tomorrow because I don't know if I'll be recording before 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I doubt it. So La Liga tomorrow, Atletico Madrid and Malaga. Atletico -3, Malaga 9-1. The draws plus 420. I'm gonna go with under 2.5 goals at plus 104. And in more Champions League qualifying, we'll go back to that. So 3 o'clock, Celtic and Lask Linz. Celtic -70, Lask Linz 4-1. The draws plus 290. I'm gonna go with under 2.5 minus 102. Hapoel Be'er and Saba FK. Hapoel plus 115, Shaba plus 195, draw plus 230, going with Hapoel plus 115. And see Najima and Bodo Glimt. Najima plus 145, Bodo Glimt plus 140, draw plus 280. I like the draw plus 280. And Slovan Bratislava and NK Selje. Bratislava minus 160, Selje plus 370, draw plus 280. For this one, I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at minus 108. So there you have it for soccer. All right, the portfolio is back. So you guys know the deal with the portfolio. I pick a random future in any sport, and it just sits in the portfolio until it possibly cashes. I've had some good portfolio picks over the years. My favorite one I ever had was 3 years ago in April. The Rays got off to a hot start in the AL East, and the Baltimore Orioles are sitting there at like 19-1 to win the division, and I took them. And at that number, it was a very good payout. Another one, Nikola Jokic was a big favorite for MVP. I put a good amount of money on Joel Embiid at plus 850. That was a really good one. But yeah, I've had some good ones over the years. But then Embiid one might have not been in portfolio, but I know the Orioles AL East one was. So now with football season coming back, I want to do this. So I've been doing a lot of college football research lately. And I have been doing my research. And there's a lot of teams I like. And there's some teams that I'm not as high on as others. So the Mountain West. There's a team in the Mountain West that I'm high on. And I just think they're loaded. They're plus 330 to win their conference title. But they're not the favorite. And no, I'm not going to pull the trigger on that yet. But instead, maybe I'll pick this team to make the college football playoff. instead of winning their conference. The miss the college football playoff market. There we go. This team's 15-1 to make the college football playoff. I'm going to get a little greedy with this bet, and that is the Lobos of New Mexico. I'm putting a fifth of a unit on it, 15-1 for New Mexico to make the college football playoff. Just looking at their roster, I think that they can do it. All right, so there you have it for the portfolio. Now I'll move on this day, brought to you by All Sports News. I did check. Today's came out. So we'll do yesterday's and today. All right, so yesterday, on this day, August 17th, 2022, Lakers extend LeBron James and the Texas Rangers fire GM John Daniels. 2021, Joel Embiid signs 4 years, $196 million extension, and they signed another extension after that. It's probably the worst contract in the NBA. 2014, Michael Dyer hits for the cycle for the Rockies. 2021, Chris Bassett hit in the head by a line drive. Oh, I remember that. That was brutal. 2022, Chargers extend Derwin James. 2021, Timberwolves acquire Patrick Beverley. 2013, the Mets call up Travis d'Arnaud. 2020, the Tigers call up Casey Mize. 2021, the Seahawks extend Jamal Adams. 2015, Cardinals signed Chris Johnson. And Daniel Briere retires from the NHL. All right, and then today, August 18th, on this day, 2015, the Red Sox hired Dave Dombrowski as president. 2019, Cedric Benson dies in a motorcycle crash. That was sad. 2015, the Red Sox, Ben Cherington resigned, and then they hired Dombrowski. That went hand in hand. 2019, Peter Alonso breaks NL rookie home run record. 2014, Braxton Miller suffers season-ending injury with Ohio State. That was brutal. Everyone wrote them off after that. And then that other guy started. JT Barrett started. And then he got hurt. And then it was Cordell Jones. And that was a wild Ohio State season. They won the title on their third-string quarterback. 2021, Freddie Freeman hits for the cycle with the Braves. 2025, Browns named Joe Flacco starting quarterback. 2019, Zach Greinke earns 200th win. 2013, Red Sox Yankees brawl after Ryan Dempster hits A-Rod. I remember that one. And then Joe Girardi was losing his mind. He got tossed, I think. 2022, Flames signed Nazem Kadri, and NFL and the Players Association settled on an 11-game ban for Deshaun Watson. And 2017, Dodgers acquire Curtis Granderson. Probably from the Mets. So there you have it for on this day. Now we'll move on to the news and notes. Just reported now, medical card is out for Charger center Tyler Biadasz, who went down after 49ers DT Sebastian Valdez fell on his knee during the scrimmage. So we got to keep our eye on that one. That could be possibly a big injury. Matt LaFleur says that talks about Keyshawn Nixon's comments about being punished at mid-position battle. Jeff Hafley sets expectation for receivers on the Dolphins. No block, no rock. Patrick Mahomes fell in the NFL top 100 outside the top 10 for the first time since 2019. He shouldn't be in the top 10. O.J. Briggs dies at 56. He was a part of the Super Bowl winning team with the Ravens, Super Bowl 35. Roger Goodell, an international team, he says he has no doubt the NFL will have a franchise outside the U.S. one day. That would be very interesting. They love football out in the internationals. Penn State Stadium got remodeled, and it looks really good. We talked about the AP poll yesterday. Ketel Marte getting MRI on knee as he was on restricted list on Monday after not showing up to Fenway. Interesting. Why would they put him on the restricted list? He would be on the injured list. Breece Hall out 2 to 3 weeks with a groin injury. Should be ready for week 1, though. Josh Jacobs to practice, according to Matt LaFleur. Christian McCaffrey dealing with actual tightness amid Holden rumors. Jordan Tyson out for 2 months with a hamstring injury to rookie wideout. That is a brutal loss for the Saints and Tyler Shuck in his development. Jamal Adams tore a quad tendon, as Kevin O'Connell said he's expected to stay around the team after the season-ending injury. Jaguars guard Patrick McCarry has back surgery, still expected to play this season. Former Oriole Trey Mancini retires. He won the AL Comeback Player of the Year after returning from cancer treatment. He had a nice career as a role player. MLB owners approved the Padres sale. Unanimous decision makes deal the most expensive deal in baseball history. Mike Malone rejected Carolina 3 times. That's crazy. Before deciding to take the job. They must have been desperate for an NBA coach. Keenan Allen 1-year deal over $8 million to the Colts. I like that signing a lot. I still think Keenan Allen has something left in the tank. Good red zone guy. So, Shams incorrectly reported that the Buss family was selling their stake in the Lakers to Bob Iger and Josh Kushner. But Genie's lawyer slams the sale. His attorney asserts the vote is void as 2017 court order prevents any Lakers sale without Genie's consent. And then she was against the sale as Jeannie Buss, as she was outvoted by her 5 siblings, will no longer hold title when deal is complete. Joshua Baez was working as a delivery driver before making MLB history with the 3 home runs. The WNBA says that fans should have been free to wear shirts with messaging about transgender issue. The Royals DFA Starling Marte as Vinny Pasquantino returns as the corresponding move, along with Mikael Garcia. And then it came out that Ketel Marte didn't show up to Fenway, but he had an MRI. They said, yeah, well, the truth will come out. C.J. Abrams not thrilled about moving off a shortstop to second base. The Terrion Arnold signing will be delayed with the Seahawks as he'll land on Commissioner's exempt list once signed by the Seahawks. So Darius Smith to the Falcons as he comes out of retirement for a 12th season. Well, they need help there with the Pierce suspension and that other guy out for the year. Yeah, 1 year, $6 million could be worked up to 8. Brian Schottenheimer says that the Cowboys are not done in improving the roster. I really like that Von Miller signing. I think that was huge. Bills president Peter Gielli defends Highmark, says everyone is very happy about anonymous player made comments about grass. The Patriots are signing Greg Van Roten 1 year, $3 million. That's a good depth piece. Giants are signing Najee Harris to a 1 year deal after his Achilles tear. I think that's Scadaboo insurance. Matt Nagy says that Jackson Dart's ability to see defense will take him to the next level. I do agree with that. I think the media is overblowing that Jackson Dart hit that Tyron Tracy should be at fault at. Former Raven Chandler Martin, 1-year deal after ACL tear with the Giants. And the NFL responds to the Dart comment when he said he was confused. That's what I don't like from Jackson Dart. He should have worded that better. Spokesperson says that Dart's medical tent treatment was standard. But I do think that they are babying Jackson Dart a little bit because of... I gotta be honest, he's the new Tua. All he's gonna be doing is gonna be in the tent, and it's gonna be costing Giants football games. Like, he's literally Tua. Maybe a better version of Tua, but he's probably Tua at this point when it comes to that. So there you have it for news and notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple games I like on the board for tonight. But the one I like the most is the over in the... There's a couple overs I like, actually. I'm still undecided. I like the over in the Nats Rangers the most. So I'm going to go over 8, minus 105 in the Nats Rangers. So there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, look at everything tomorrow. NFL quarterback rankings tomorrow. That should be fun. I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.